Today, 14 September, my father would have turned 85 years old. He died when he was 60, and I am 56 now. In November, I'm turning 57. This truth has been walking beside me lately, quietly, softly, urgently. It is like I'm walking alongside a quiet shadow, a soft reminder that time is precious, that life is fragile, that legacy doesn't wait. There are mornings that I wake up and I think, what if I only had 3 years left too? 3 years to build what I dream of. 3 years to pour into the people I love. 3 years. 3 years to leave behind something that matters, like my dad did. When you think like that, everything shifts. We don't get to choose how much time we have, but we do choose how we use it. I have stopped waiting for permission. I am no longer postponing dreams for some perfect version of someday, because someday might never come. My father taught me that, not with words, but with how he lived. He was the quiet one. He was the second eldest of 10 children, the one that my grandmother leaned on when her arms weren't enough. He earned a scholarship to the university, but sadly had to turn it down. Not because he didn't deserve it, but because there was no money for food or accommodation. Instead, he became a tradesman, a skilled millwright, electrician, and later turned in plumbing too. He came home clean, always. There was a quiet dignity in how he carried himself. He ran his own electrical business. My mum ran a shoe shop. They were a team, grounded in grit and grace. Later, he was invited to lecture. He never chased titles, but he earned respect by presence and his principles. Eventually, he rose to a senior position in the Department of Education, just 3 levels lower than the Minister of Education. And yet, he was the same man who stood over a braai, barbecue, flipping meat, or stirring a curry in the pot. He could fix your fuse box or stir your stew, and both with the same calm energy. Never loud, never boasted. He loved my mother deeply. You could see it in how he walked. Never ahead, never behind, always beside her. His legacy lives in me. I see it now. How much of him lives in me, the observer, the quiet storm, the one who rise for purpose, not applause. He never went down into the mines. He built something deeper, a life of silent strength and sacred service. You see, his father and those before him, they went into the mines, but he broke that cycle. When he spoke, people listened. You listened. When he entered a room, you felt steadiness, a safety net. He was philosophical in the truest way possible, not from books or quotes, but how he noticed, how he lived, how he made you feel seen. He saw me. I wasn't an easy child to understand. No labels, no awareness, just naughty, daydreamer, difficult, talkative, too much talking. But he saw past all of that. He saw me. He truly saw me for who I am. He taught me maths in a way that my brain could hold it. Because, to be true, dyslexia is a learning challenge. But he got through that without knowing that I have dyslexia. He stood up for me in school. And when I solved problems differently, he told the teacher, let her show you how her mind works. And that is how I ended up playing in the chess club. By Saturday, I was on the school team. He believed in my knowing. You see, the teacher was questioning how I answered the questions and said that's the wrong way. My dad sat down with him and explained, Sandler sees the world differently. Let us show you. And lucky for me, the teacher did. So not only did he listen to the way that I solved maths problems, but he put me on the chess team, a game that I've never played before. That was the Monday. By the Sunday, I have completed in my first chess tournament the day before. My father believed in my knowing. One day, He handed me car keys. I have never driven a car before, but he knew that I could, and I did. My mum was shocked. He just smiled and said, she just knows. Then came our sacred drive. The December after his diagnosis, the week of my birthday, 23 November, is when we got the news. And in that December, after the diagnosis, we took a road trip together, just the two of us, from Durban to East London, a trailer filled with furniture and memories. He wanted me and Urincha to move in with my mum and sister in East London. He was helping my sister's husband with electrical work on a new house they were building. His body was weaker, but his will was strong. Somewhere on the road, he turned to me and he said, you know, the older I get, the more I realize we miss most of life because we are always racing forward towards something. You think the big moments are out there, but they're not. They are here in the in-between bits. That line, I've never forgotten it. When we arrived, there was a butternut soup, my favorite, made by my sister, and we enjoyed that hearty meal together. We went back and we took a second trip. This time my mum and Urincha joined us. Another trailer, more goodbyes. That would be our last Christmas. That Christmas, someone gave my father a book, Glenn McQuirk. He gave my book called Map for Life, a book that Glenn wrote himself, and he still publishes every year. I still have that book, Map Your Life, and I still map my life every year. The final goodbye. When we arrived back in Durban from East London, he faded quickly, but people came, neighbors, colleagues, the Minister of Education. And on the 22nd of January, 2001, he died. I was the one who noticed he had stopped breathing. My mum held him, and I held my breath. The church overflowed at his funeral. My grandmother whispered, a mother should not bury her child. And just like that, we moved to East London. Me, my mum, and Urinch. Without him, what he left me. The grief wasn't just about losing him. It was about losing the version of myself who still thought time was guaranteed. But he left me light. One of the last things he said was, give people second chances and just try to be a good person. That's it. And know that you are going to screw up. Know it. It doesn't matter. And then he smiled. Gosh, girl, you know how to fall face down in the mud, but you always get up every single time. That is what makes me proud of you. A legacy of quiet strength. Today, on what would have been his 85th birthday, I hold those words close. I no longer chase perfection. I no longer delay joy, because he showed me that legacy isn't built through noise. It is built through presence, through stillness, through love that doesn't need to shout. So, to the quiet one who raised me, thank you, Dad. I hear you still in the hum of the road, in the warmth of the soup, in the decisions I make, in the silence that teaches more than words ever could. Happy birthday, Dad. You're still here, everywhere.